The concept of mass psychosis is not new. Historical accounts date back to the Middle Ages, a phenomenon in which a large portion of society loses touch with reality and descends into delusions. Instances such as the Dancing Plague of 1518, where hundreds of people danced uncontrollably on the streets of Strasbourg, afflicted by what was believed to be a collective hysterical disorder, provide dramatic examples. In more recent history, the phenomenon emerged during events like the Salem witch trials, where societal pressures, religious fervor, and isolated living conditions contributed to a widespread witch hunt fueled by fear and superstition. During the 20th century, political regimes used mass propaganda to influence the collective consciousness of their populations, leading to an acceptance of ideologies and actions that might otherwise be considered extreme or irrational. The rise of totalitarian states provides stark examples of how societal structures and controlled information can cultivate environments ripe for mass psychosis. From a scientific perspective, the study of mass psychosis intersects with several disciplines, including psychology, sociology, and media studies. Psychologists explore the cognitive dissonance and emotional triggers that contribute to individual and collective delusions. Sociologists examine the social structures and pressures that facilitate the spread of these collective beliefs. Media studies focus on the role of communication technologies in shaping and amplifying societal trends towards cohesion or disarray. Psychological mechanisms such as confirmation bias, group conformity, and the influence of authority figures are critical in understanding how individuals within a group can come to accept false or extreme beliefs. The concept of moral panic is also relevant here, highlighting how fear can spread among a population, leading to irrational behaviors and beliefs about threats to societal norms. Here we explore 5 stages of the development of a mass psychosis. Stage 1, initiation of anxiety. Discontent or anxiety arises within a population due to economic instability, political unrest, or social tensions. This anxiety makes the population susceptible to manipulative information. Discontent or anxiety arises within a population due to economic instability, political unrest, or social tensions. This anxiety makes the population susceptible to manipulative information, which leads to detachment from reality. Digital platforms can rapidly amplify widespread anxiety by continuously highlighting and exacerbating negative news. Algorithms designed to maximize engagement often promote sensational or divisive content, acting as a fertile ground for the propagation of propaganda. This constant bombardment of skewed information can lead to a detachment from reality as users start to perceive the exaggerated online narrative as the norm. Stage 2, propagation of misinformation. As the discontent grows, a unifying ideology or belief system, often propagated through misleading information or propaganda, begins to take root. This ideology encourages a shared emotional response among the populace, reinforcing social cohesion based on shared beliefs rather than factual realities. Social media enables the rapid spread and reinforcement of shared beliefs or ideologies, often curated to match the biases of specific groups. This creates echo chambers where collective emotional response is amplified, strengthening social cohesion based on these shared but potentially unfounded beliefs. The lack of exposure to diverse viewpoints entrenches these beliefs further. Stage 3, emotional amplification. The dominant cultural narrative, combined with reduced critical thinking, leads to high emotional susceptibility. Emotional responses become amplified beyond normal reactions, further detaching individuals from objective reasoning and reality. The media often presents information in a way that appeals to emotions rather than rational analysis, compromising individual critical thinking. The dominance of a cultural narrative is maintained through personalized content feeds that cater to emotional susceptibilities, making individuals more reactive to emotionally charged content rather than fact-based information. Stage 4, entrenchment of delusional thinking. The ongoing cycle of reinforcement continues as misinformation feeds the collective detachment from reality, which circles back to amplify the underlying anxiety or discontent. Each loop through these influences strengthens the mass delusion, making it increasingly resistant to contrary evidence or external reality checks. As the cycle continues, the technological reinforcement of anxiety and propaganda becomes more entrenched. Platforms may inadvertently or deliberately keep users engaged by feeding them more of the content that resonates with their fears and biases, which further detaches them from reality and deepens their discontent. Stage 5, stabilization of the psychotic state. As the group identity becomes more consolidated around shared delusions, isolation from dissenting views, and external validation from within the group, or echo chambers, stabilizes the psychosis. The triadic interaction ensures that the internal logic of the group remains unchallenged, perpetuating the psychotic state. Online communities provide strong external validation for shared delusions, consolidating group identity around these beliefs. Technology also facilitates the isolation from dissenting views by algorithmically curating content that confirms existing beliefs, thereby stabilizing and perpetuating the psychotic state within the group. In each step, the interactions between the elements of the triads reinforce and amplify the initial conditions leading to a stable state of mass psychosis. By examining these interactions, it becomes possible to identify intervention points that could disrupt the cycle, such as promoting diverse information sources, encouraging critical thinking, and building emotional resilience against manipulative narratives. Modern technology, especially designed to maximize user engagement and time spent on platforms, plays a critical role in each stage of the development of mass psychosis. By understanding how each triadic relationship is influenced by technology, strategies can be developed to mitigate these effects, such as promoting digital literacy, diversifying content algorithms to expose users to a wider range of viewpoints, and implementing stricter regulations on the spread of misinformation.